Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Disco Elysium, the final cut. This is a strategy, I guess, role-playing game. Would I call it strategy? Maybe. And it's on the PC, Xbox Series X and Xbox One, and PS4 and 5, I think. I'm not even sure, but you can look it up. This was something I was interested in. I had heard how phenomenal this game was. And I went to GameStop, picked it up for like, I think it was $22, and then I had a coupon, so it was like 15. Then they lowered the price again at one point, so I went back and got $5 back. So I think I spent like $10 or $9 on it, and it was definitely worth. It's definitely worth that. I'm not done with the game yet, but I'm pretty far into it, I think. So this game has some controversy around it. It's made by a guy who I guess is sort of, I don't want to say sort of. I don't fully know. I didn't look fully into it, but he's a communist, or at least he is pro-communism. So he has like a bust of some famous communist on his desk in his video game development studio. Um, I think it was made either just by him or primarily by him. And there's a ton of political stuff in this game, which I'm not really into. So while I'm playing it and enjoying it, a lot of the political back and forth and fighting and discourse isn't really grabbing me. It's a, again, RPG, extremely text heavy. So if you played a game like Torment, which was the, I think, loose sequel or whatnot to Planescape Torment that came out years ago, similar in that way, except that was very science fictiony and alien like and lots of weird stuff happening. This is based more in a normal environment. However, your main character is an alcoholic loser, pretty much, and you're trying to sort of shape him. So you can still make him some alcoholic loser where he gets drunk and does drugs to heighten his senses and maybe roll better skill checks. A lot of the game has to do with skill checks. So while you're playing, you're hearing voices. Certain people need you to hit certain barometers on certain things with them via skill checks. And if your skills don't meet the requirement, you can't even try. If they do, you have a percentage based system of whether you succeed or fail that skill check. So if you like pen and paper RPGs, you will definitely like this. Again, if you like Torment, you will definitely like this. It's written very well. A lot of the characters are interesting, excuse me. There's a nice art style. It looks like that. Very water brushy, kind of, you know, old fashioned looking in a way, which I guess goes along sort of with that old world political, I don't want to say satire, but so that's sort of the gist of the story as the game starts out. You then find out that there's been a murder in the area you're in, and you're trying to figure out who committed the murder, what happened, and you have a partner named Kim. I forget what his first name is, or maybe his last name is Kim, and he's Asian, and you're trying to get camaraderie with him while, you know, getting into these dialogues, heavy scenarios with different NPCs and passing these skill checks. And the more skill checks you pass, funny things happen, interesting stuff happens, and you also get experience points to where you can upgrade certain aspects of your character. There's a part, one of the skills that I have, that's one of my main skills, is called Inland Empire, which is a David Lynch reference because it's one of his films. And you sort of have this supernatural intuition. So you hear things and sort of see things that aren't there, and they mold the way you can respond to things. So depending on how you build your character and what you do and even the clothes you wear, you will have different levels of being able to accomplish these verbal skill checks with all these characters. And even when you fail one, sometimes it's kind of funny. Stuff happens. However, there isn't any battles or fighting that I've experienced yet, and I'm pretty far into it, I think. You can die if your health meter from getting hit or kicking things or punching inanimate objects goes down, and your morale can go down. So if either one of those gets to zero through these skill checks that you're failing, stupid things. You could try and kick open a door, and if your foot hits it the wrong way and you get hurt, you lose 1 health. But there isn't any kind of battle system. You're not fighting people like Shining Force, for instance, or even Torment, or Planescape Torment. You're talking to people, and if you pass the checks, um, there's some interesting characters. I like the world. I like how everything seems dreary and sort of run down. Again, there's this whole political discourse between old world, I guess, mentality, and then this new form of communism or something. A lot of it's just over my head, and I really don't care to get into it. I kind of shy away from politics in the real world in a lot of scenarios because I'm sort of sick of it, even though obviously I have my own opinions on things. Um, so far, I only have the one partner in my group. I haven't, gotten anyone else, but the game is very surprising in that you find out different things and do different things in all these scenarios, again, depending on your skills. You also have this thought tree. So if you come across something in the game that triggers a thought, you can put it in your thought tree and you can keep opening more thought bubbles to put in your new stuff as you progress and get more experience points. And the thought tree gives you different memories. So, like, one of the memories has to do with gum that reminds you of an ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, and it gives you plus to something but also minus to something. So there's always sort of a negative to go with the positive. Same with clothing. You may wear a really stylish, like, detective hat, and it may give you +2 to intelligence, but -1 to, I don't know, hand-eye coordination. So if somebody drops something, you'll fail the skill check, most likely to pick it up. So it's a pretty fun game. I like a lot of the characters and scenarios. If you like dialogue-driven games or text adventures, I would definitely recommend it. It's a cool-looking game. It runs well on my Xbox One X. I don't have a Series X, but as I said, it's got that too. This came with, let's see here, a download code for, I think it's a soundtrack, and it looks like it's either going to be a map or a poster. Oh, a poster of all the skills you can unlock, which has these weird, sort of abstracty, dark-looking artwork, like something out of, I don't know, H.R. Geiger perhaps, or Brahm or something. So overall, I think Disco Elysium is a great game, but you really have to be able to dedicate a lot of time to it. The good thing about that, because I don't have a lot of time to play games, is there's a quick save and save anywhere feature as long as you pause the game. So that's very helpful. So I would definitely recommend it. I like it. Maybe try it out somewhere first if you're not sure if this is going to be up your alley. And I'm enjoying it. So that's it. Character heavy, dialogue driven RPG. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you've played Disco Elysium or if you're going to pick it up and what you think of it. If you do play it, I'm really interested to hear all of your commentary on it. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.